Hello viewers at home. It's me, Jim. We're here with semi-finals of the Hoenn Gaiden Open. First set, we've got Paul versus Erry, and let's get right into the action. Let's get into it. Zapdos up against a Regieleki on the first turn of the game. Regieleki is interesting. It's got screens. It, unlike in Gen 8, it can run hidden power, so you can actually have coverage on it a little bit. I believe it gets rapid spin as well. We've got a Silvally Dragon entering the fray. Sorry, Silvally Ghost, forgive me. Interesting choice. Don't know if we've seen that one yet. In comes Lapras, the premier special wall in Gen 3 Hoenn Gaiden. A Metagross, however, is going to turn the tables on that swiftly. And an Earthquake incoming on the Regieleki, but wow. Regieleki completely shrugging off that damage. I must not know what the hell that thing's stats is, because that doesn't seem right to me. That's a Metagross Earthquake. What the? That was peanuts damage. That was nothing. In comes Weezing Galar, a Pokemon that I think is excellent. I'm going to go for a Flamethrower. A diverse move pool. Flamethrower, a good option on it. Metagross, unfortunately. Full Parrot a couple times there. Weezing Galar that time goes for a simple Surf to cover a potential switch out. Does a bit more damage to the Zapdos. Doug willing to take a potential HP Grass and get owned by Zapdos there, but Zapdos thought that Erry would switch out. And nice Focus Punch in the incoming Lapras. Bit of back and forth gaming here, folks. This one's interesting. In comes Metagross. Last legs against the Lapras. Lapras able to heal up, but Metagross can get a crucial explosion off. Wow, Weezing actually manages to live that. What a defensive behemoth Weezing Galar is. And rather than finishing it off, going for another Thunder Wave Predict. I think you gotta just click a damn button. Expected Lapras to come in, I suppose. In comes Silvally Fighting. I mean, this is quite a threat. This can do stuff. But in comes Silvally Ghost to shrug off the fighting type maneuver with its immunity. Silvally does learn Shadow Ball. Paul could have made a play there. Didn't pull the trigger. And this is going to be Lapras checking Salamence with a Stab Ice Beam. That's going to kill and then some. Celebi actually threatening to kill this Lapras with a Psychic. And correctly predicts a switch out to Doug there. Swampet's faster based on the leftovers order there. That's pretty speed invested Swampert, I imagine. Although maybe Lapras is slower than Swampert naturally, can't recall. Hydro Pump ends up being more damage against Regieleki. Regieleki happy to make screens to support its teammates. Now Silvally Ghost is taking no damage from anything. It's going to Swords Dance up. It doesn't give a care in the world. It's going to... I think that this Silvally Ghost is going to clean up the game. I don't think that it can... I mean, maybe the Silvally Fighting can finish this thing off with a Shadow Ball. No. In comes Celebi to get killed. And it's all over. Silvally Ghost win condition right there, supported by dual screens. Erry with an interesting squad there. I like it. Let's take a look at game 2. Paul versus Erry. A Golurk lead this time from Erry and a Metagross. Sorry, forgot how to speak English. That's inviting in Skarm very freely. Paul establishing an early advantage with a spike, a layer of spikes on the field. That could have been an Ice Beam. That could have been problematic to Golurk, but no matter. It was in fact full Parrot. Skarm going to take a big punch to roar out the threatening Golurk. Regieleki once again. Erry enjoys this Pokemon, as we can gather. In comes the bad seeds, the Parasect. A great sleep user in the format with excellent utility with its water and ghost immunities. Wow, nice knockoff on the crab click and focus punch, but actually knocked off its band. It would have been actually better to keep its band on, because the crab would then not be able to hit the Parasect locked into punch. Now it can switch moves. In comes Suicune, calm minding up. Claydol gonna come in on the electric type attack. Suicune's calm mind boost. Forced out. Blissey entering. And I do think that Golurk got away with murder earlier on that full para. That was likely an Ice Beam that was clicked, but the full para guarded the Golurk from danger a little bit. In comes, speaking of Golurk, taking a huge Meteor Mash. Erry switching in this Golurk willy-nilly. And it's gone. Doesn't have a great switch in for Metagross, I suppose. And even the Crab, an excellent defensive wall, is going to take a lot from Meteor Mash. Metagross is a monster of physical attack. And it's also super effective. Even with Fur Coat, you don't want to be taking that hit. Erry is pretty behind here. There's a Spike on the field. And Metagross is an absolute force to be reckoned with. Looks like it's a mixed Zapdos, and you know, mixed Zapdos doesn't threaten Blissey that much. Blissey can just heal up here, I imagine, is what's going to happen. It's a Wish, actually. Oh, stays in. I think that was a good choice. And Metagross is pretty nice versus Kleavor. Takes the lunge quite cleanly. And doesn't even get the attack drop from the lunge because of the fact that Metagross has a clear body, folks. That's called mechanics. That's called gaming. Paul goes for a predictory Meteor Mash. Paul making a lot of predicts, and Erry just not letting it happen. I guess why would Erry save the 1 health Regieleki? Well, actually, it's a sleep sack. Now Parasect can sleep something else. And Blissey could just go for a... Oh wow, able to heal up the Parasect. That's so huge. And... nice. I would have assumed a HP Ghost was coming down there, but it was a Rock Slide, actually. Which I guess also hits Parasect. So nice decision from Paul going to Claydol. Potentially dangerous on an HP Ghost, but called out the correct attack. Final game of the set. 1-1. Who'll take this one home? A Zap and a Tar facing off, and unfortunate turn 1 for Erry. Full paralyzed in the face of Zapdos. Full paralyzed again. That one probably didn't matter as much. And a punch into a Cloyster coming in. Cloyster going to get a Spike. Despite that poor start, establishing a Spike is a clear advantage. And Overcoat is an excellent ability. With the Sand immunity, Cloyster is going to chip heal up. We love to see that. Gliscor comes in on Zapdos. And does Zapdos have HP Ice? We'll have to see. Probably not, because it exited there. Zapdos did not stay in that time. Paul is just going crazy with the predicts. Assumed that Gliscor would get out of there. Swampert could Hydro Pump, it could Ice Beam. But Erry just has no regard. Not frightened in the slightest. Just staying the hell in at all times. Parasect comes in on the Ice Beam. Parasect does have Water Absorb, so played around it there. This could be problematic. I mean, the thing is that Tar is paralyzed, so it's pacified a little bit. But here's Cloister again, creating more spikes. This is problematic as hell. Paul has 2 spikes to deal with. And it's HP Grass on Zapdos, rather than HP Ice. In comes Gliscor, and this Gliscor is just going to spam Toxic against everything. Doesn't seem like Paul has a great way to handle this Gliscor clicking Toxic, based on that switch in right there. Salaman's going to DD up. I do wonder what he'll click here. Just a simple HP Fly. No reason to get fancy. Tyranitar entering the fray. And it's a DD Brick Break Salamence. Okay. Paul establishing a bit of a comeback here. Refresh Salamence with HP Flying and Brick Break is honestly crazy. What a set. Dragon Dance again. Gliscor probably has Rock Slide. Oh, it doesn't. It just Toxics again. Can you believe it? Another refresh. This is crazy, folks. Can this Salamence pull it off? Finishes off Cloister. But in comes Sableye. Sableye should be able to take a hit and Seismic Toss this thing. Sucker Punch. Wow. Gets the crit. I think Sableye would have lived. Oh, Paul said it didn't matter though. Maybe it didn't. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Alright, well, Gliscor clicking Toxic again. Refresh. Is Gliscor clicking Toxic again? Yes. So you can just rinse and repeat this moment. And now you can protect, because even with Refresh, the sand occurs first and you're dead. In comes Celebi. Can Gliscor handle the Celebi? Paul still has 2 Pokemon left. Normal... No, that's Silvally Steel. Looks a lot like Silvally Normal, but it's actually Silvally Steel. HP Fire going to do a lot. But a multi-attack will finish off Celebi. Zapdos entering. I'm assuming Zapdos is slower. Sorry, is faster. I've said the opposite of what I meant. Metagross entering finally. Turns out Paul does have a Toxic Immune, but rightfully afraid of Gliscor. Having Earthquake. Earthquake would be a problem. And this Gliscor is just such a threat. I don't think Paul can handle this thing based on how he's played this whole game. Going Salamence into the Gliscor, although it made sense actually upon revealing Refresh. And this Zapdos is getting stalled a lot. But it's making decent progress with these HP grasses. Can it actually break through in the end? I don't know. Gliscor is just chip healing so much. I think it's just going to take it out. And then in comes the Silvally fighting. The last hope of the game. It's got Rock Slide. It can Rock Slide flinch its way out of this. But nice by Erry. Just, you know what? Paul could get a tie here. No, he cannot. Actually, Paul can get a tie here. Comes down to a Protect mix-up. And now if you explode, it's a tie. Oh, Gliscor just lives. Almost a tie. Gliscor lives on 5% health. Wow. Erry winning that by a very tiny margin. The 5% at the end. Wowee, folks. Can you believe it? That was a nail biter. We've got Jim's set. Let's see what happens to Jim. Up against Fruhdazi. Let's see how this one goes. We've got... I've tried a Deoxys speed on this one. I go for a superpower. Fruhdazi has exited though. This is Silvally Fire type. I come in on Metagross, and I believe that's a banded Metagross based on that damage. I clicked Ice Beam expecting a switch out to something. Hopefully it was a Flygon, but it was Tyranitar in fact. Crabominable is my Tyranitar check, and it comes. I get Deoxys speed back into the picture, and I just make my spike. I figure it's hard to find an opportunity to get it in and make spikes. It feels pretty threatened in this particular matchup. Metagross was locked in to Earthquake there and had to get out. My Delibird click an Ice Beam. In comes Electrode Hisui, a new Pokemon I tried out in this particular tournament game, and I think it served me well. We've got an entry point against a Jirachi Thunderbolt, and then we're extremely fast, outspeeding most of the game. And I do run HP Ice on this Electrode, so this Gliscor is now forced out. I think Fruhdazi must have assumed that was HP Grass, because comes right back into the Gliscor and takes this HP Ice. Could have been HP Fire as well, I suppose, but it was in fact HP Ice. And Flygon is threatened by that too. I actually go for Explode here rather than HP Ice because of Yachi Berry and Dragon Dance, which would be problematic. And that allows me to get a Gengar in. I'm outspeeding a lot of stuff here. I think I can finish off all these fellas with the Gengar. Gengar lives a Silvally Ground Shadow Ball. This is a standard offensive Gengar, just full special attack, full speed. Cleaning up this game. And I think I just exploded here. No. Yeah, it was confirmed choice band, so no need to explode and play around agility. Just went for the T-Bolt. And that miss didn't matter because I got myriad Pokemon to finish off the Metagross there. Let's take a look at game 2 for Jim versus Fruhdazi. What the heck happened next? I go to a defensive Flygon against Tyranitar. A DD Tar lead. And an unfortunate crit has just killed my DD Tar check. An Earthquake I would have been able to live and then finish off that DD Tar, but pretty damn unlucky there, that crit. And then a flinch as well to add insult to injury on my Skarmory, which was my backup option in this position. I get the Roar off, and in comes Hitmonlee. Bulking up on my Protect, unfortunately. Oh dear. I'm in a pickle, but Weezing is a pretty fantastic fighting type check. In comes Weezing to save the day. I go back to Skarm, and I realize that it's reversal and HP Ghost only on that Hitmonlee, so I can safely take a hit from a reversal. And I dared not tempt fate there and go for a Protect. Now, I should have probably clicked a Will-O-Wisp right there, but I was afraid of a potential sub from Cleavor, so I didn't. In comes my own Tyranitar. I utilized Flamethrower. Try and hit Jirachi right there. And that Claydol is very attack invested. So my Sableye is not going to be 1v1ing it. I have to exit. I could have gone to Weezing Galar, but then Weezing Galar is worried about Psychic. But it turns out to be some kind of physical Claydol with Rock Slide, which is a bit fun. Nice set there. In comes Sableye. Trying to do something. I go for a Toxic that time. I believe I went straight to Tyranitar. The Jirachi could be anything. It could sub up. Tyranitar just stops it from doing stuff. Sableye back in. I get a Toxic off on this Silvally. And some Mind Games follow. I go Tar on the Shadow Ball there. And then it's a 50-50. Do I stay or do I go? As the Clash said. And I went for a stay on the last one. I thought he might try to hit the Tar. I was incorrect. Couldn't save my Sableye. At least we take out the Silvally. In comes Tyranitar once again. Attempting to quell the threat of Jirachi. I go for a Crunch that time. Trying to cover Claydol. And I go Wheezing Galar. I think that this Tyranitar is handleable now. But still had a flinch chance. Luckily dodged that one. And this Jirachi becoming more and more of a problem. In comes the Tyranitar trying to handle it. I do run Earthquake on this for Jirachi because I was otherwise very weak to it. And unfortunately, Jirachi is able to break through Tyranitar. Zapdos is my last hope. It is specially defensive Zapdos. And I do outspeed actually, much to my surprise. But then turned out to be a speed tie. Both 244 speed. Unfortunately, couldn't finish that one up. I think actually if I won the speed tie there, it might have been alright. Wheezing Galar might be able to, alongside a Rest Zap with Sleep Talk, might be able to handle these. But it's actually kind of rough because Wheezing Galar did have Pain Split. It could heal back up. And it does a decent job walling Cleavor and stuff. But it wasn't a great position either way. Not a great matchup for me there, but I think that losing Flygon was pretty damn unfortunate, and then also losing so much health on Skarmory from that Rock Slide flinch sucked as well. Probably a bad team choice though. It was a Superman build trying to ignore spikes, and Fruhdazi's been bringing a lot of spikeless offense. I just thought he might bring... He's brought some spikes teams. Thought he might bring something with spikes, but I was incorrect. I go to Gengar on what is, I believe, a Hidden Power Fighting from that Silvally with Choice Band on it. And I miss a Wisp. We go Cloyster on the Tyranitar and we get crit. I go for a Surf. And then I use my interesting set I tried out here and do a Kustat Berry Cloyster to check the Tar in the end. And take it out. In comes Delibird from Fruhdazi. Delibird Truther. I go to Tyranitar. And I go Gengar on the Brick Break. Forcing out Delibird. Gengar proving very effective here, and it takes out Delibird. And right here, I miss a Will-O-Wisp and my Gengar dies. Pretty devastating. I mean, Gengar was very, very important. I could have played around this. I could have gone to Tyranitar, but I think in hindsight I should have gone to Tyranitar. Even if Silvally went for an HP fighting, at least I know that you're locked into HP fighting. I can get Gengar back in and click Wisp. I'm still got the momentum advantage in that case. Risking losing Gengar here was my big blunder. That was poor. And yeah, Gengar was outputting a lot of offense. I mean, look at this. It's a Flygon. Gengar would have taken out Flygon with ease. I go to Aerodactyl on what was actually a lunge. And I have another Endure Explode user here. Wasn't actually necessary to click Endure, turns out, because I was able to live the Earthquake, but I did calc it, and I believe it was a roll, so... And now I can't really do anything against DD Flygon, unfortunately. I simply lose unless this Rock Slide misses. GG's. I do think in game 2 I got a bit unlucky, completely losing my Flygon, but this game would have been winnable if I kept Gengar up, I think. That was my big misplay. And, yeah, I would have had enough momentum to break through and get there, I think. Still had 2 unrevealeds in the back, we don't know. But losing Gengar was horrible. It was likely Yachi Berry, I know. But still. I think Gengar can actually live a Rock Slide, or I could click Will-O-Wisp instead of Ice Punch. Flygon can't really stay in the face of Gengar and do stuff, and with a Spike down and Gengar up, I'm really applying a lot of pressure. Anyway. Jim's out. Grand Finals is Erry up against Fruhdazi. Who's going to take it home? And there's actually a prize for first place, generously donated by Hoenn Gaiden gamer Bynum, who donated why the hell can't I speak? $25 Amazon gift card for the winner. You can get yourself I don't know, a copy of the Bible. What costs $25 on Amazon? Something good. You can get something great. A yo-yo. That's under $25. You can get like a... pencil case. Something useful, you know? So there is merit to playing Pokemon competitively, as it turns out. You get Amazon gift card if you win. Thank you so much for donating that to the tournament. Much appreciated. Good luck to the finalists. Stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching. Hoenn Gaiden. More tournaments to come. Love the metagame. Full supporter. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.